Good day sa inyong lahat. I am Mrs. Lourdes Shobal, a Muppet teacher in Caloocan High School, and I am teaching Muppet 10. Okay, so class, welcome to our Music 10. Let me first welcome you with this song. We're Kalhayan and we are excited. There's a joy deep in our heart. We are swaying, singing, and dancing. You are welcome, welcome again. We're Kalhayan and we are excited. There's a joy deep in our hearts. We are swaying, singing, and dancing. You are welcome, welcome again. We are welcome, always welcome here. Welcome. Our topic for the first quarter is all about the 20th century musical styles. This presentation is composed of Module 1, the Impressionism music, and Module 2, the Expressionism music. Let us first read the most essential learning competencies for Module 1 and Module 2. Describes distinctive musical elements of given pieces on the 20th century style. Module 2 explains the performance practice of the 20th century music. To give you a specific objectives, let us look and read what's on the next slide. Specifically, this Module 1 will help you describe distinctive musical elements of given pieces in the 20th century styles, identify known musical composers in the 20th century music, determine the following musical style in the 20th century, specifically the whole tone scale, and listen and understand the different characteristics of the 20th century music. Module 2, identify known musical composers in chants and electronic music. Determine the following musical styles of chants and electronic music. Listen and compose chants and electronic music. And appreciate music through composing. So yan ang ating mga objectives. We are guided by these objectives so that when we finish all those topics and concepts, you were able and you are guided by these objectives. Okay? So our lessons are very interesting in a sense na this era, embraces everybody because in this era, composition made easy. But before that, let us first review the elements of music. Ito na discuss na natin doon sa inyong grade 7, 8, and 9, but still we need to review this because this is the most important elements that we are going to use in analyzing the different musical compositions. All right? So here, I have given another file, that those students do not understand this, you can access the file so that you would have a better understanding about the elements of music. Under rhythm, we can have this first activity, but we will just have one activity in elements, under elements, because it will take us time. But we have separated explanation of the rest of the elements in other presentation. So your teacher will give you the file for you to be able to understand the 8 elements.
Repeat after me, please. Repeat after me, please. Thank you. Thank you. Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Long and short sound. Long and short sounds. This is a whole note. This is a whole note. Ta. Ta. This is a half note. This is a half note. Ta. 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 This is a quarter note. This is a quarter note. Ta 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 ta. This is a pair of eighth notes. This is a pair of eighth notes. T T T T T T T T T T T T T T T T. Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Long and short sound. Long and short sounds. End of repeat, please. End of repeat, please. Thank you. You're welcome.
What is duple? That is the beat that has two beats. No? So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you happen to find a music that is in that beat, no, that is duple. No? So usually these are march compositions, yung mga marcha. And medyo mabilis siya. Okay? The tripod. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you happen to feel a certain music that is has 1, 2, 3, that is tripod. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quadruple meter. Sometimes nakakalito yung duple to quadruple. So, medyo kapag quadruple siya, pag medyo ang tempo niya is mabagal. No? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Set. Melody, it is the succession of pitches. So, ito yung sunod-sunod na mga tunog o tono. May pagtaas, may pagbaba, may pantay. That is melody. Now, how are you going to analyze under melody? Narrow, average, or wide? Narrow kapag yung tabi-tabi lang yung pitch, no? Mabababa, halos mabababa ang tunog. Average, medyo singable siya ng mga hindi masyadong matataas at mabababang tunog. Wide, ito yung medyo matataas na at sobrang baba, no? That is wide, sabihin, under melody. Next, harmony. Harmony tones, it is the tones combination. So you're going to answer only if you happen to listen to a certain example of music and you recognize there is a harmony there. You're going to say that the music has harmony. Yes or none lang ang sagot. Okay? Texture. Texture is the layers of sounds. Gaano ito kapal o kanipis? So monophonic kapag isa lang, no? Isa lang ang naririnig na melodic line. Homophonic, it is the melody plus the accompaniment. Okay? Dalawa, ibig sabihin ng homophonic. Polyphonic, ito yung mga iba't ibang tunog na nagsasalimbayan na sabay-sabay na naririnig. And that is polyphonic or what we call counterpoint. No? It's also, mga examples ito rin yung mga round song. Okay? And sometimes, kahit ito dalawang tunog ang naririnig, na magkaibang tunog na sabay na naririnig, hindi natin po pwedeng sabihin ito ay homophonic kasi dalawa. Homophonic in a sense na accompaniment lang plus melody. Pero pagdating sa polyphonic, pwede rin dalawa pero nagsasalimbayan rather. Okay? So that is polyphonic. Lalo na kung 3 or 4 na melodic lines, no, na sabay-sabay na tunog. That is polyphonic. Timbre. Okay, so napansin nyo, ang spelling ay T-I-M-B-R-E, timbre. But the pronunciation is timbre. Okay? But in Tagalog, we can say it as timbre. Okay? So, timbre, it is the tone quality. Kwalidad ng tunog. We are using the Hornbostel-Sachs classification. Ito yung tinatawag na chordophone, aerophone, etuphone, membranophone. Okay? So, yan ay mga chordophones, yung mga instrumento na mayroong strings. Membranophones, lahat ng uri ng drums. Okay? Aerophones, lahat ng instruments na hinihipan. Idiophones, lahat ng instrumentong pinupukpok, dipukpok, or di kalog. Okay? At meron din tinatawag na electrophone. Lahat ng mga instruments na nakakapag-produce ng sounds through electricity or electronics, no? Electrophones. Okay? Now, meron din tayong voice classification. Kasi dalawa ang pinagmumula ng tunog, no? Instruments or voice. Ngayon, sa voice naman, meron tayong soprano, alto, tenor, or bass. O tinatawag na SATB. Okay? Now, sa pakikinig, siyempre sa dami ng napapakinggan nyo under timbre, doon sa, especially kung sama-sama na sila, hindi mo masabi lahat, no? So kung minsan may mga grupo ng musicians ang nagpe-perform. Halimbawa, drum and lyre band ba yan? Yan ba ay rock band? Yan ba ay banda ng musiko? Rondalia ba yan? Quartet ba yan? No? Okay, so yun yung mga tinatawag na grupo ng mga manunugtog. Pwede natin yang ilagay sa under timbre kung maramihang pakikinig, no, ng mga musicians. Okay, next. Dynamics. It is the softness and loudness of sound. Mahina at malakas na tunog. So yan, madaling ma-identify. Ano-ano ang mga ginagamit nating musical symbols dyan? PPP or pianissimo. PP, pianissimo. P, piano. FFF, fortissimo. Malakas yan, no? Loud. FF, forte. Very loud. F, forte. Loud. Okay? So, crescendo. Ano yung crescendo? Mahina, tapos malakas. No? Yung decrescendo naman, malakas, pahina naman. Okay? So, yan yun. Yung mga simple dynamic symbols, no? So, yan yung mga dynamics mark. Okay? So, tempo. Tempo is the speed of music. No? We are having or using largo, andante, moderato, presto. What is largo? Okay? That is very slow. Andante, slow. Moderato, moderate lang siya. Okay? And then presto, fast. Okay? If you cannot remember a certain Italian or Italian terms like this or mga musical terminologies, you can also say in their meaning, no? Para malaman ninyo o magkaroon kayo ng sagot or you should be able to remember these terminologies. Okay? Form. It is now the structure of the composition. We have the unitary. Pag A lang siya, isang ano lang siya, isang part lang yung kanta, no? Binary, meron siyang A and B part, no? Ternary, ABA, no? Parang yung natapos siya ng tatlong parts kasi inulit yung A. First part, B, tapos at saka bumalik ulit sa A. That is ternary. Now, in preform, pag yan mayroong tigi-tigisang parts, A, B, C. Okay? Or A, B, C, D, E, F. Yan. Okay? Pag mayroon namang marami siyang parts, tas palaging bumabalik sa A, pero medyo complicated na siya. Ito, kasi medyo technical na siya, no? Masyado ng composition-wise na siya. Ito ay tinatawag ng rondo. Okay? Rondo. No? So those are the things that you should remember under form. Ito yung kabuuan. Kabuuan ng isang komposisyon. At ang bawat parts nito, no? So, again, unitary, ternary, binary, ternary, and preform. Okay. So that's it. Para maunawaan yung lahat ang elements of music during your vacant or free time, pwede ninyong i-access yung file at ang mga guro ninyo ay ibibigay yan sa inyo. Okay? Right. Now, let us give a short information about the 20th century musical style. Okay? Sa ngayon, tayo ay tumatakbo na sa 21st century. But our topic is all about the 20th century music. Okay? So let us give a short history or information about the 20th century. Music is a part of our life. It also changes human behavior and builds communication skills, motor skills, and emotional development. It continuously changes and adapts to the culture and events around it. Massive amount of technology arises and develops at 20th century. And some of these are electricity, internet, computer, television, radio, nuclear power, and automobile create great impact and changes the world. So tama, ito yung panahon ng puro inventions na because of the advanced technology. And even music, no? There are so many instruments that is made up of technologies. No? And you know that. Marami na rin gadgets ngayon na nagagamit natin when we listen to music or when we create our own music. Okay. This evolution of technology also affects the perspective of some musical composer that introduced the rise of distinct musical styles that reflected a move away from the traditional way of creating music in early classical era. Musical composers from this era create their musical pieces in experimental and unique way. You will find it out mamaya, okay? Some of them use the technological advances and avoid the conventional way of creating music. Okay, so sabi nga dito, pagdating sa 20th century, ibang-iba ang mga composers dito, no? Gumawa sila ng sarili nilang style na hindi ginaya yung mga classical standard of compositions, no? So dito mapapansin ninyo yung malaking pagkakaiba. All right, so this now our first module, no? The Impressionism music. Okay, so this is a French movement in the late 19th century and early 20th century. Really give a definite or specific characteristics of Impressionism music. Okay, as you can see, dun sa opposite side ko, no? That is Claude Debussy. Okay? So, siya ang kauna-unahang composer ng Impressionism music. Okay, let's talk about him and all his composition. Debussy use of the whole tone scale in music, a scalar arrangement of pitches, each separated from the next by a whole tone step or whole tone scale by Claude Debussy on his composition, Clair de Lune. Okay? So before that, let us first discuss the whole tone scale. All right? As you can see on the illustration, what is that symbol? Yung unang-una, that is G clef. Okay? And you see there are many notes there, whole notes. And as you can see, there are 3 notes that has, ano nga yung symbol na yon? Sharps. Okay? And there are arrows for you to find, no? To play each notes to a certain key on the keyboard para alam nyo kung saan tutuldukin. Okay? And by the way, for you to be able to play this, I am encouraging you or asking you to download a piano keyboard application from Google Play. Okay? I'm requesting everyone, for you to be able to play these notes, I am asking and requesting you to download keyboard or piano keyboard apps in your cell phone. And then that would be one of your activities here in the module 1 for you to be able to play the whole tone scale. Yan. It's very easy to play because and also to the illustrations, the illustration here gives you clue, no? And will guide you where to play those keys or those notes. And that is the whole tone scale. Okay, so let us now read each notes. That is do, the C is do, then D is re, E, mi, F sharp, fa sharp, G sharp, sol sharp, A sharp, la sharp, and do. Those are the full tone scales. Okay? All right. So let us now listen to Claire de Lune of Claude Debussy.
Claire de Lune is evocative enough, so I will not dwell on that, because I'm sure that every one of you has his or her own way of looking at the moon and getting a different inspiration with it. I would like to show you how I think one can learn to listen to music, if you want, without being a musician, but know what to listen for. It starts in a very simple way. Quite simple. Now, let me show you. What does the piece start with? But it's not what it seems. It's not one. It is one. What we call in music a syncopation. One. One, one, two, three. Now listen. Here comes the tension. Listen to that. Put your ear on my left hand. And now it continues. A little more elaborate. You see? As against the beginning, it's in midair. This is on the ground. And later on in the piece comes with a very tense chord. If you get your ear used to listening to the changes when the same music comes, you will get a lot out of it. So, please let me go back. One. The next one. chord is different. Remember? Now, and the last time. Much for listening, and I hope you will come and watch some of the other programs. Thank you.
So we have another guest who will explain to us the whole tone scale. And as what we have discussed before, that the whole tone scale was created by Claude Debussy. Okay, so you better listen very carefully here.
Interested in trying to think of new materials for their compositions. Claude Debussy and other composers started trying to find new materials. Some went back to what's old is new. They brought modes back into their music, the old church modes, and treated them in different ways. And they also tried to come up with some new ideas. One of the ideas was this whole tone scale, and it's constructed exactly how it sounds. It's all whole steps. So if you make a scale that is only whole steps, if you start on C, go C, D, E, the next note is F sharp, then G sharp, A sharp, and then you're back to C. And if you put this scale together, it equals a whole tone scale. It's all whole steps. It's very nebulous sounding. In fact, if you watch 60s TV, whenever there's a dream sequence and something is happening, you'll hear going back in time, or you're getting very sleepy. It's nebulous. Something is floating because there's no set point. Any one of these notes could be do. It really doesn't define it like a major scale. There's no T, do, there's no fa, mi, there's no tritone resolution. In fact, the whole thing is a bunch of tritones. So it's very unstable in a way.
O ngayon, narinig nyo na at nakita kung paano tinutugtog ang whole tone scale. So, sa last slide, meron tayong mga instructions doon na kung saan, paano nyo ito matutugtog. No? Meron tayong mga apps na i-download sa inyong cellphone para inyo itong magawa. Okay? Let's move on to the next module. Okay? So it is the expressionism. The term generally used to describe music composed between the abandonment of tonality at the conclusion of the Romantic period. And one of the prominent composer during this era in the expressionism music is Arnold Schoenberg. Again, how do you pronounce the name? Arnold Schoenberg. Take note of that. Okay, so if Debussy composed or created the whole tone scale, si Schoenberg naman ay 12-tone scale. Ano yung pagkakaiba nito sa pamamagitan ng pagpapakinig ng mga musika ni Arnold Schoenberg, no? And another, again, a tonality and dissonance, meaning talagang medyo talagang out of tone, no? At out of tune. Okay? Dissonance, ibig sabihin wala sa tono, yung ibang tono. Talaga naman. Okay, ang kantang-kanta ang aming mga manok. Pasensya na. Okay, so tingnan natin 'yan, no? Pakinggan natin. Let us listen to Arnold Schoenberg's Pierrot Lunaire.
Den weinte Mann mit Augen trinkt, gießt nachts der Mond in Wogen nieder. Deine Sprung flut überschwemmt, den stillen Horizont. Gelüste, schauerlich und saß. Die Türe dirrte mit langem Halse, für seine lästige Liebe sein. In seine Hirne steckte ein Nagel, die Türe dirrte mit langem Halse, schlag über die Finger heiß, ein Glöckchen, voll verkehrte die Stille Preis. Eine Sehnsucht, tief erstickt. Nicht ich todeskranker Mond. Mit groteskem Riesenbogen kratzt Pierrot auf seiner Bratsche, storcht auf einem Beine, knipst und brüllt ein pizziger
All right, so let's now have the Serge Prokofiev Piano Concerto in C major, Opus 26. When we say concerto, we have in our modern time that pag sinabing concert ay merong isang popular pop artist or singers and that yung concert niya, no? But why? This is the culture ng Philippines na medyo westernized. But when we call it a piano concerto, ang nagko-concert ay piano. Okay? So the main bida there, no, ay ang pianist. Now, back up niya yung orchestra. Alright? So let us listen to